Okay, so good morning, one and all, for that virtual internship program on certificate course on enhancing programming skills for placement. Okay, so myself, Professor Amolem Jagtap, assistant professor from CSC department. So let's start our first session, which is based on basic to advanced C programming. So guys, we have touched to the basic concepts as well as we will move to the advanced concepts itself. So first, what is introduction to C language? C language, what we called as middle level procedure oriented programming language, which is developed by Dennis Ritchie. We know that. So which is middle level? Why we called as middle level? Because we have done the programs or applications of higher level as well as system level support, because C language support basically system level softwares, operating system. So basically C language is invented for Unix operating system. So we will see that. So C becomes popular because of its reliability, simple and easy to use. Actually, when C language is invented in 1972 at AT&T Bell Laboratory, and which is invented by Dennis Ritchie. So from 1972 till 2021, C language is most popular because of its reliability, simple and easy to use. Okay, so C language is a middle level language. Yes, it has both relatively good programming efficiency and relatively good machine efficiency. That is most important. Machine efficiency means it supports the system level software development. That is system level. System level means your compiler, interpreter, operating systems, then kernel. All these are the system level softwares, and these are developed using C language. So C was actually invented to write operating system called Unix. So when Unix operating system is invented, that is implemented using C language. Great. So C is a system programming language used to create system softwares such as operating system, device drivers, kernels, etc. Network drivers, everything is most of the language which is supported till today is the C language. So C is more popular language nowadays also. Great. Okay, so move to the next part. That is, what is the applications of C programming? That is most important. If we know the applications, then we have know the importance of C programming language. So first, most important application is operating systems. So we have designed and developed our own operating systems using C language. Language compilers, there are different language compilers available in every formal language or programming languages. So compiler is a system level software that is also designed with the C language. Assembler, which convert your assembly language into binary one. So assembler is also one application of the C programming language. Text editors, Notepad, WordPad, Word, all these text editors also developed using C languages. Print spooler, network drivers, modern programs, database design, then language interpreters, etc. All these are the developed using C programming language. So everywhere there is a C programming language which supports system level softwares. Great. So guys, understood? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's move. So what is the functions? We know in C language, we have skipped a very basic concept, but we have focused on the main concepts of the programming. So what is the functions of compiler? So basically, what is compiler? Compiler is a language translator, because our C language is not known to the system. Please unmute. Okay, so first compiler, which is called as a acts as a language translator, which translate your given source code, that is C language, into binary file or processor level file. Okay, so that is the first function of the compiler. Next, compiler acts as a syntax or grammatical error checker. Grammatical, because when you write the syntax, it is as per the grammatical rules, and grammatical rules are written in the your grammatical domain. So every programming language having some grammar. So when we write any statement, that must be applicable. How we write it, use it is syntactically correct. If it is not syntactically correct, then compiler raise the syntactical errors. Next one is the static binding. So static linking is a function of a function, is a function of a compiler. So what is meant by static binding or linking? So function call bind to its function definition. So this is called as binding or linking. So function call, when we bind to its definition at the compile time itself, then it is called as static binding, because there are two types of bindings. One is static binding, another one is dynamic binding. So we focus initially on the static binding or static linking, and then we focus on the dynamic linking. So it is also possible in C language. Then next one is the static memory management. That is also a function of a compiler. So static memory management. So these are all the functions of the compiler. So guys, these are the basics of compiler. What are the functions of the compiler? So compiler acts as a language translator, which translate your given source code file into binary file. Then compiler acts as a syntax or grammatical error checker. Then static binding is the function of compiler. Static memory management is also function of compiler. So we will see that these are the four main functions of the compiler. Okay, so we will see each and every function later on. Great. Okay, guys, hope you understand till this. So first I will open new source file. Yes, guys, everyone aware of this dev C++ IDE? What is IDE? Integrated Development Environment. Okay, so everything is here available in this IDE. That is all the options related: compile, run, rebuild, all these editing as well as compiling, running, then watch. All these options are available together, that is integrated into this software. So it is called as IDE, Integrated Development Environment. So this is a IDE and most popular IDE for writing C and C++ codes, which is now there are number of additions or versions of C language. So one by one, this is first, which is called as traditional C language, developed by Dennis Ritchie. Second version, that is KNR. Then third version, that is on C. Then fourth version, ISO C language. Then fifth version, that is C99. So these are the different versions available of C language. Great. there are number of IDEs available to write the code and run it using different IDEs. So Dev C++ is the most popular one. We will write all the codes in that same IDE. Great. So every IDE version having its own rules, grammatical rules. So some changes, basic core part of the language remains the same, but number of times each different compilers, that is traditional C's language compiler, KNR and CC, each and every language version having its own compilers. So running on these compilers, sometimes it gives different outputs because their grammatical rules are different sometimes for particular examples, as well as output of the C program depends on the which operating system you have used, 32-bit or 64-bit. Okay, so currently I have used GCC compiler 4.9.2 64-bit. Okay, if your system is 32-bit, you can use 32-bit GCC compiler. Okay, guys, hope you understand. Now move to our first program. This is all about the basics, but we have focuses on our technical part. So when you write any C language program, first we have to include header file, and most important header file is stdio.h. Okay, so first we have to write actual documentation session. This is comment line. So first session is always documentation session, which contains who has developed this program, what is the purpose of the program. So it is right on the first part, that is the documentation part. So author or developer name and the what is the program. So this is sample program. You have to write developed by author Professor A.M. Jagtap. Okay, great. So this is documentation session. After that, we have to write what our header file session. So everywhere is stdio.h, that is standard input outputs. STD stands for standard input output header file, and this header file is included into hash include. So what is hash include? Guys, number of students don't knows what is hash include. So hash include is a preprocessor directory. So it is a preprocessor directory. Hash include, what is it called as? Preprocessor directory. Means it is a directory. This is the name of the directory. In that directory name, we have to save our stdio.h header file. So in directory, there are number of header files like stdio.h, mat.h, string.h, like that. Okay, so all the header files are included into hash include, that is called as preprocessor directory. Now the question arises, why we have to call hash include as a preprocessor directory? So what is the purpose? Preprocessor. Preprocessor means before compiling. That means when we compile, means that source code is translated into object file, .obj file, that is in the form of binary. Okay, so before compiling, what preprocessor does? Preprocessor, okay, which is a language expander, which are the shorthand notation in your program that is extended by the preprocessor, and preprocessor works on this directory. That's why it is called as preprocessor directory. Why? Because number of built-in functions, standard input output related, are stored into this header file. So which are that functions? We know, everyone knows, printf and scanf. These are the two basic functions. Okay, so first include our main function, that is int main. Now Now, guys, this is main function. Main function is also not a built-in function. It is a user-defined function. Great. Now everyone knows what printf. How to write printf. F means formatted output. We required, if we required formatted output, we can print it. What is the use of printf function? Printf function prints the output on the console or text mode window. Okay, so console. So we can explore the terms. Console. What is console? Console is a black screen on which output get displayed. Printf is a function on which output get displayed. Okay, so this console is divided into two parts or two types. First is text mode window. Text mode window means only we can display text on that console. Another one is viewport, and using viewport we have to draw graphics or animation on it. So for that purpose we have to include initialization method, init graph method in our code. So that is different one, but we have to know console, that is the black screen on which output get displayed, and basically we have used text mode window console. Okay, we don't convert it into the viewport. When we write graphics, then we want to convert it into viewport. Great. Now we will start from simple to some advanced concepts. So hello students, /n, that is new line. Next, this function having return type int because we follow ANSYS's syntax. So return 0. Great. Why main function return 0? 0 means successfully termination of the program, and any other non-zero value is considered as unsuccessfully completion of the program. Okay, so if function having return type, we have to return something. If it is integer, so we have to return integer value, that is 0. And where this value get returned? Because main function in your C language programming, and who call this main function? Operating system. Here operating system means disk operating system, DOS. Okay, so DOS, disk operating system, calls main function. So this main function returns 0 to that DOS, disk operating system. Okay, great. Guys, hope you understand. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So what is the output? So output is simple one. What is the output? Hello students get displayed on console. Console, which type of console? Text mode window, which is text mode window. So on the text mode window, we have to display hello students. And what main function returns? Main function returns 0 to whom? Operating system. Which is the operating system? Disk operating system. Great, guys. So let's first compile it. Before compilation, you have to give any name to the program. Suppose first one, this is the name of the program. Save as type. Here we have to choose C source file because we have to write the code in the C language and save it on any particular path. Then compilation result. What is the compilation result? Error 0, warning 0. Okay, so compilation time required, that is 1.56 seconds. Now, that is this file. What is this? Is the source file, that is first one.c. This source code file is now converted. First is the Which file? First one.c file. After compilation, that is converted into first one.obj file, that is object file, and that object file is code is in the binary or actually assembly language. Okay, so third file, that is first one.exe, executed file. When you run the program, when you click on the run button, then this object file, first one.object file is executed and its exe file is created. So this is third file. Then fourth file, that is backup file, first one dot back file. Okay, so these are the four different files are created when you write source code. That is first one.c, .c extension is there
Hello,
for your
sir.
source code file. That is, yes.
Please, I don't know if you are typing something in screen, but your screen is straight,
Yes, screen
nothing.
is visible.
Yes, but I
Screen is
think
not
that
visible.
it is visible, but we are still in the page where we are writing the simple code. I think you are writing something now, no?
What?
Sorry, I think your screen is freeze, sir. It is not showing any letters or what you are typing in the keyboard.
Okay, it is not seeing.
No, sir. It's just showing the simple code that you have written before, and it is freeze there. Even the mouse is not moving.
Okay, so hash include stdio.h. This is not visible to you.
That is visible, sir. It is freezed in that point, sir. Up to that return 0. Then after that, nothing is showing.
Yes,
I
it
think
is not visible. Okay, it is not visible. So I will
No,
take
sir.
another file for that.
Basically, they want to say,
Yes.
sir, that screen is freezed. Mean the change when the screen's now it is fine. Now it is the screen is changing. Now it is fine, sir.
Is it visible? It is visible.
Sir, you
Yes,
move
it
the
is
mouse.
visible now.
Can you move the mouse, sir, in your screen?
Remove the mouse.
Just we want to see the motion of mouse on the screen. Your screen is freezed or not?
Okay, now it is visible.
No, sir. The mouse is not moving. It's still in the same place.
Mouse is not with moving.
Yeah, the
Okay.
cursor. I mean the
But
cursor
text,
on the window.
yeah, but text is visible.
No, sir.
First one dot c, first one
Yeah.
dot object.
Now it is visible, sir. Now it is visible.
Yeah, it is the problem of network then. Okay.
Okay.
Other
Sir.
guys having same problem?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Visible.
Yes, now it's visible.
Okay. So great. So when we write your source code, it is first one dot c, that is the extension. Then first one dot obj, this is object file, which is in the form of actually assembly code. Then when you execute this assembly code into binary, and that file name is called as the first one dot exe. Last one is the backup file, but most of the compilers does not take the backup of your source code file. But traditional C language, it's take the backup of your source code file. If the source code file is corrupted, then you can retrieve that file from the backup. Okay, so these are the four different files are created when you compile, run the program. Great. So now, what is the output? Run this program. So what is the output? Hello students. Yes, it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the time. How much time it required? 0.05312 seconds. And what it returns? It returns 0 value to the operating system. This is nothing but that black screen is nothing but your disk operating system. Okay. Hope you understand. Now my question is, Is it possible to write like this? Length is equal to, is it possible if you write anyway, integer len length? Is it syntactically correct? What do you think?
Actually, we are not seeing what you are writing, sir.
Okay. So what is the output? Suppose I want to print the length. Length is equal to %d, comma, length. Okay. So in printf statement, whatever we have to write in the double quotes, that will be displayed on the console, black screen on which output get displayed. So instead of format specifier, its relative value, that is length, this is variable name. So its value is displayed instead of %d. This is called as format specifier. D stands for decimal value is printed. So guys, what is the output of this program? What do you think?
Maybe, sir, it is the length of the string in the print function.
Length of the string.
Yeah,
Great.
in print function.
So we have know what is the output of this program. Printf function prints hello student /n on the screen, and it returns how many characters have been displayed on the console, and that number is returned by this printf function. So we have to catch it into the any integer variable because its return type is int. So we have catch and we have to display. Suppose I am shorten this string, so it is very easy for you to calculate. So what happens? First printf hello get displayed on the console, and then length is returned. So what is the length? 5. So 5 is catched into the variable length, and the length is equal to %d. Here output is hello 5. I have compile it. There is no error and warning, and then run it. So the output is hello length is equal to 5. Yes, great. Okay, so printf function having two different argument. First argument is always string in double quotes, and after comma operator there is the name of the variable. If we have used any format specifier inside that double quotes, then you have to specify its variable name. Okay, great. Guys, now another question. Suppose I will remove this. Okay. Is it possible to nested printf inside printf? Is it possible? For example, %d, comma, okay. Can we write like this? Yes, we have to nested the printf function inside the printf. Is it possible?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, your screen is again freezed. Whatever you are writing, it is not showing in our screen.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I have.
Everyone having same problem?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Everyone
I
having
have
same
Yes, sir.
problem? Or
Yes,
The
sir.
screen is freezed. Our screen is freezed, sir.
Okay. Okay. I think. Okay. First, I will stop sharing the screen. Now screen is visible.
No, sir.
Not visible.
No, sir. Not visible.
Now it is visible.
No, sir. Yes, sir. Visible.
Yes, now it is visible.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, it is visible now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Visible.
Okay. So guys, my question is, I have write printf statement inside the printf. So what is the output of this program? So these types of programs are mostly used at the time of technical interviews, quiz, puzzles, everywhere. Okay. So what is the output of this program? So first, nested part, that is printf hello, is displayed on the screen. And what printf returns? Integer value. So how many characters are right in on the screen? 5 characters. So printf function returns 5. So this 5 is printed instead of %d. So what is the output? 5 hello or hello 5? What do you think?
Hello 5.
Hello 5, because first is executed printf. After that, this string, how many characters are there? 5. 5 characters are returned to the %d. So output is hello 5. So guys, let's check it. First compile, then run it. So this is the output, hello 5. Yes. Yes, students, understood the part?
Sir, screen freeze, sir.
I think after execution, that screen is fizzed.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So what to do? Yes, now it is visible or freezed?
Visible, sir.
Okay. Great. So let's check. Now, this is all about printf function. Printf and scanf, these are the two mostly used input-output functions, and that function's definition is present into the stdio.h header file. Great. So what we have to do now, it's turn to, I think, hope you understand this part. So let's move to the, now if I'm writing /n, so what is the output? New line, that is /n means new line. Then what happens?
Sir, where you are writing /n, nothing is showing in the window.
What?
Sir, where you are writing /n? I
Yes.
mean,
After hello, if you write /n,
sir, what in each screen there is
yes.
not showing /n.
Okay. Suppose /n is also treated as a one character, whole /n. So output is 6, calculated as a 6. Okay. So compile it and then run it. So hello is displayed on the console, but /n means new line. So our 6 is displayed on the new line. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Now it is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now it's time to scanf function. So scanf. What is the use of scanf? To scan the value from the user. So I want the length, and that length is taken from the user. So first I give the message as a printf, enter length Okay, /n. Great. Then I have to take it into decimal, comma, use ampersand whenever we have scan the value, we have write ampersand length. Okay. Yes. So what is the output of this program? Suppose we have scan 22 value for this, because when enter the length, this is message displayed on the console. Then cursor is blinking for taking one value from the user, that is integer type. That integer value is saved into length. Suppose I will enter 21 as a value on the console. So this is assigned to the length. Okay. So after that, print that length. Printf length is equal to %d, comma, what, guys, you have seen this tooltip? Yes, this is called as tooltip. This is printf, then its return type is integer and function having public access specifier. Okay, so this is the called as tooltip. While you writing any function call, then this tooltip is pop up. Okay, so then write length, because we have catch the length into length variable. So this program, which is simple one, we know that compile it and then run it. So here we have to enter value. Suppose length is 21, length is equal to 21. Okay, great. So we know that whenever we have scan the value, that scanned value is displayed when we print it, and that value 21 is assigned to the variable ampersand of length. Okay, great. So now the question arises, if I have taken this value into any variable, because whenever you write tooltip for scanf, so scanf also returns integer value. So integer, suppose C, I have cached the value of this scanf function in the C. And if we want to display the C value, C is equal to, and not length, C. So what is the output of this program? What is the output of this program?
Sir, 21.
C is equal to 21. Yes, any other output? So we know each and every functionality of each function. Yes, we know scanf function is used for scanning the values from the user. Yes, great. If you run this program and at the time of scanning, we have to enter 21 value, then what is the expected value? It is 21? No, it's written 1. Guys, let's check. First compile it and then run it. So length, if you enter 21, C is equal to 1. Yes. Is it correct? So what is the output? C is equal to 1. Now question arises, why 1? So what is the function of the scanf function? Scanf function, how it is worked? How many values we have to scan using scanf function? Here only one value we have to scan using scanf function. So what scanf function returns? How many value we have take from the user? So here only one value we have to take from the user. So it returns what? 1 into the C variable. Okay. So C variable contains now 1. So when we display C, then it gives you 1 as an output. So this is in detail of the scanf and printf function. Guys, hope you understand. Okay, so exercise. Suppose length.
Sir, if you add
and-
here 2% D, then it would.
Yeah, I will show that. If length 1 and suppose length 2, two variables are there. I have scanned two variables in the same scanf function using %d, ampersand of length 1, comma, ampersand of length 2. Okay. Ampersand of length 1 and ampersand of length 2. So how many times scanf function scan, how many values scanf function scan? Two values. So what is the expected output returned by the scanf function? 2 into the C variable. So what is the output? C is equal to 2. That is the expected one. Great. So let's check it. Compile this program, then run it. Same input, that is 21. And second input, suppose 31. Two inputs we want to give to the scanf function. So scanf function stop for taking two values from the user. Okay, so I entered, then C is equal to 2. Yes, guys, hope you understand.
Yes, sir.
Great. Now,
Sorry, sir, I didn't get how to means they just count the numbers we took from
yes,
the user, like not.
yes.
Okay.
So you know in detail what printf function do, what scanf function do. Printf function, what it is main aim to print the output on the console, and when it print the output on the console means at is text mode window. How many characters we have displayed on the screen, that is counted by the printf function, and that is returned by this function. What
Sir?
Yeah.
What, sir, if I declare one length, like if I declare one variable in integer part, and I in the scanf function I add 2D, so it will not print the whole number that we given.
What do you want? Scanf percentage.
Like for example, in the fifth line, we declared integer length 1 and length 2.
Yeah.
So if we declare only length 1, only length 1, and in the seventh line,
syntactical error.
Okay.
If it is you have not declared it, then it gives you syntactical error. Let's check. If you remove this, but whenever you use any variable, it must be declared on the first line in the main function in C language. So
yeah, sir. In seventh line, we should remove this second the second one, the second
okay.
And line 2. Yeah, this one.
Okay.
Yeah, fine. Now if run, what will be the output?
Okay, and %d and %d 2 times.
Yeah, 2 times. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Now just compile it. Compiler does not give any error. Then run it. Okay. Suppose 21. Screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
21, 31. What happens? You understood? Because when we scan first value, that is stored into the address of length 1. But when we scan second value, there is no variable where to scan. So it is wait. Okay, let's run it again. Compile and run. Now observe 21, enter 31. Now this 21 is assigned to the length 1 variable, but 31 is where there is no catching variable where to store this value on the RAM. Okay, so whenever we press enter, that 31 values moves from your keyboard buffer to the RAM. So RAM, on the RAM, which variable where we want to store, there is nothing. So when we enter, it is confused. Okay, and it is, let's see, I will show you what it returns. This function returns value. What?
Garbage.
Not garbage, it is more number. Why it is written non-zero value? Actually, what is the last statement? If the program terminated successfully, then what is the output? Return value is 0. But when your program terminated in between the program execution at the runtime error, this is a runtime error, then it gives you another value. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So at that time, what is the yes, if this type of question is there and there is a 4 options, different options. So what is the correct one? Correct option is runtime error. What is? Not a syntactical error. Is it syntactical error?
No, sir.
Yes. It is not a syntactical error. If it is syntactical error, then compiler gives you error here. But it is not a syntactical error. Why it is not a syntactical error? There is one is reason. Because compiler does not do anything inside the double quotes in printf or in scanf. Okay, so it does not do anything. Okay, guys, hope you understand. Yes, so correct is yes. If you want to save 3 different values and use %d 3 times, then it gives you ampersand of length 2 comma ampersand of length 3, and you have to add length 2 comma length 3. Okay, so compile and run. So 21, 31, 41. Okay, so C is 3. That means how many scanf function scans the value? How many values are scanned by scanf function? 3 values are scanned. Whenever we have scanned 3 values, what is the return value? How many values are scanned? 3. So scanf function returns 3. Okay, great. But whenever at the time of GATE exam or any other company exams, their technical aptitude, at that time, what happens? Okay, just I will show you. And what they have do, they have just Control X, comma, nested scanf function. Okay, and here I have to write C is equal to %d. Okay, so guys, what is the output of this program? Yes,
Sir, 3.
C is equal to 3. Clear? So this type of problems are asked at the time. So you have to know each and every function, that is built-in function, in detail. What is the arguments? What arguments we have to pass? What are the return type of that function? What is the meaning of that? Printf function returns different. Okay, so just compile and run. So first which statement get executed? Scanf. Which case statement get executed? Not printf. First scanf statement, which is nested. Nested statement is executed first. So first executed scanf. So first I will scan 21, 31, 41. So C is equal to 3. This is the output. Great. Guys, hope you understand.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, scanf. So the purpose of scanf is storing the value, but
Yes.
how it counts the input values?
Yes. Okay, what is the purpose of scanf function? Scan the values, and that first value, this is
Store the
percentage
values
D,
in the memory location.
yeah, stored in the memory address. And what it returns, scanf function, what it returns? It returns integer value. But which integer value? Which is scanned value, or how many times you have scanned the values? So this function scan the 3 different values. So scanf function returns this value. But purpose what? Scan the value. So whenever you write 21, 31, 30, 41, these are saved into length 1, length 2 and length 3. The purpose is satisfied. And what is the return type? What scanf function returns? Integer value. But which integer value? How many times we have scanned the variable? Okay. Or how many times we have take the values from the user, that is returned by the scanf function, and it returns integer value. So this integer value is placed here inside the percentage %d. So output is C is equal to 3. Guys, understood?
Yes, sir. But I kindly request to repeat one time, sir.
Repeat one time. Okay. So printf function's return type is integer. For here, now tell me, if I write integer d, okay, here I am writing d, declare the variable, and again I have to printf d is equal to %d, comma d. Yes. Now tell me what is the output. Tell me this is complete. 3 times scanning is done, then 3 is returned, then C is equal to. So I'm removing the space also. Okay. So what is the output? This printf function, what it returns? How many characters that printf function displayed on the screen? So how many characters? 1, 2, 3. Okay. %d, instead of %d, what value is displayed? 3. So just compile and run. Yes. So what is the output? Yeah. What is declaration of d with no linkage? No. In C language, we cannot declare int d. In CPP, we do that. But here, we have to declare the variable at the first line. So why to write int again? So this is the error. Redeclaration of d with no linkage. Understood? Because here we write int. No, it is not possible in C. We can write in C++. Okay. So wherever first we have declared int d and then use that d variable. Okay. Now compile it. So there is no error. Now 21 first value, then 31 second value, then 41 third value. So C is equal to 3 and D is equal to also 3. And let's check. Return value is 0. That indicates your program termination is successful. And if there is a logical error or runtime error, if there is a logical or runtime error, then that return value is other than 0. That is non-zero value. Okay. If it is non-zero, other than 0, then we have know that program terminated uninterruptedly due to runtime error. Understood, guys?
Sir, how to know if this is runtime error or logical error? I mean, how we can differentiate these two from each other?
Logical error and runtime error.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes what happens, logical error means way of thinking. Error, runtime, logical error is come at the time of what? Runtime mostly. Because of logic, we have does not understand what is the way of thinking. What is logic? Way of thinking. So we don't know way of thinking, and due to that we have to write different algorithms, and due to that different algorithm, program get executed uninterruptedly. Program execution is successful, but output is different. So this is a logical error. This is a logical error. And runtime error, that means something is wrong. Okay, not a logic, but something is wrong, and due to that wrong interpretation we have got the wrong answer. For example, here we have removed the 1% d. Then what happens? Actually, compiler, there is no compilation error. Why there is no compilation error? Compiler does not check grammar for the string inside the double quotes. Compiler does not check syntax for the grammar for inside the double quotes. So it is not a compile time error, it is not a syntactical error. But when we run that, there is two values. Scanf function do only scanning two values, but there are three variables like this. Okay, so this is a or you have to write more %d 4 times. Okay, then also this type of, this is not a syntactical error, but it is a runtime error. And logical error is it program executed successfully, but their algorithm steps, that is the way of thinking, is different. So we misinterpret some statements. That's why it displays the different output. So it is called as runtime error. Most of time, logical error and runtime errors are treated as the same. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes.
That means that in runtime error, I'm not going to have my console open. But
What?
in logical error, I can have it open, but with wrong answers.
Actually, I didn't get you. Your voice is not clear.
I'm saying that means that in runtime error, I can have my console. I am not going to have my console open if I have runtime error. But if I have logical error, I can have my console open with wrong answers.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. So let's move to the next part. I hope you understand this in detail. What is the printf function, scanf function, what it returns actually. Okay. Great. So let's move to the memory management. That is data type. Which data type we have required? So I'm just describing in brief. So in C language, there are different types of data types. First is built-in data type or user-defined data type. Then derived data type. Okay.
Sir, screen freeze, sir.
Yes, yes, I will. Yes, it is visible.
Yes, sir, visible.
Okay. So data types. So in C language, there are different data types. One is the basic data types. Yes. Second one is derived data types. Third one is user defined data types. And fourth one is the void data type. Great. So these are the different data types available in C language. Basic data types. Which are the basic data types? First, character, integer, float, double, long, double, etc. These are the primitive, basic, fundamental data types available in C language. Now, which are the derived data types? Derived data types means function, array, then pointers. Okay, so these are the derived data type because which is derived, inherited from the previously built basic data types or user defined data types. Then user defined data type, structures, union, type def, enum. Okay, all these are the user defined data type, and last one is the void data type. So guys, memory management, static memory management is the function of compiler. Memory management, static memory management are of two types: static memory management and dynamic memory management. So static memory management is done by compiler. So it knows what is the data type of that variable. So what is the function of data type? Data type tells to the compiler how many bytes are reserved for these variables on RAM. Then which type of value we have saved into the variable. This is tell by data structure to the data type to the compiler. So compiler knows that length requires how many bytes. Okay, so these how many bytes are different from different compilers and system. Okay, 32-bit or 64-bit system. Okay, so guys, hope you understand. Now data types tells to the compiler that how many bytes are required and where to and second one is which type of value we have stored into that variable. Second thing, this memory management is done on the RAM, random access memory, or we have to call it as a primary memory. Great. So on the RAM or primary memory. But guys, primary memory having 4 different types. So I will show you. This is the RAM. This is RAM, random access memory. This is divided into 4 different logical partitions. First partition is stack partition, second heap partition, then static or global partition, and last one is the code partition. So on the RAM, whatever may be your code, .c, .object or .exe file, which is placed or OS operating system, because first we have to operate the machine for that OS that is also inside the code partition. So code of the program is remains here in the code partition, while the variables we have to store into different partitions. This is called as the storage classes. So in C language, there are 4 different types of data types and storage classes. So there are first storage type that is called as ATO or local variables. Then second type is called as register. Third type is called as global. Fourth type is called as static. So these are different storage classes in C language. So that is also most important, because data type, what data type tells to the compiler? Because compiler's function is static memory management. Whenever that, for whom compiler does the static memory management? Variables only. So these are the different 4 variables. So for variables, memory management is done by the compiler. So first data type tells the compiler that how many bytes are required to store a variable and which type of value we have to store into that variable. Great. So that information is provided by the data type. How many bytes are required? For example, in this IDE, int requires 4 bytes because it is a 64-bit compiler. So int requires 4 bytes. If it is 32, then it requires 2 bytes. If it is traditional C, int requires only 2 bytes. It depends compiler to compiler. So here int requires 4 bytes. And what value we have to store? Only integer value in the int variable. If float is there, then it requires 4 bytes. Okay, and which type of value we have to store into float variable? Floating value. Okay. Now, what is the aim of the storage class? We have stored variable on the RAM, but which partition? Because RAM having 4 different logical partitions. So which partition we have to store that variable? Okay. So where to store which partition? That information is provided by your storage class. So whenever we declare any variable, optional is a storage class. Compulsory is the data type. Data type is must. Then name of the variable. Okay. So this is the declaration of the variable. So storage class is optional. Whenever we does not write anything, that variable, all these variables are saved on which partition? Local stack partition. Dynamic memory management is done on the heap partition. Static or global variable is stored into global partition. Okay. And register. Registers are saved on the register. In the your motherboard processor is there. Inside the processor there are number of general purpose registers. If you write the register, then that variable is saved on the register. But if it is free, if it is not free, then that registered value is saved on the stack partition on the RAM. Understood? RAM, random access memory, is different, registers are different. So storage class gives you different information. What is the initial value in the variable? If it is not declared, then where to save that variable? On the local partition, that is stack memory, heap partition, or global partition. Next, storage class gives you lifetime and the scope of the variable. So what is the lifetime of the variable? What is the scope of the variable? That is also decided by the storage class. We will discuss these all in details. Now, from data type point of view, we have to take some example. Suppose float f is equal to 99.99. So I will check that if f is equal to 99.99, then printf inside if else, otherwise printf inside else. Okay, guys, tell me what is the output of this program? What is displayed? We will see branching statement in next session, but till if f, this is the equal to, that is the comparison operator. If it is 99.99, then print inside if, and if otherwise else, it is print else inside else. So which output get displayed on the console?
Inside if, sir.
Inside if.
Inside if. Okay, because 99.99, this is f value is equal. Yes, it is both equal, so it returns true. And if is, this statement is executed. Let's check. First compile it. Okay, then run it. Oh, what is the answer? Inside else. Guys, you understood this? Yes?
No, sir.
Why this gives you wrong result then? Inside else. Yes, because this is 99 in the float value. This is a float value. But when you write 99.99 here, its data type is not a float, its data type is double. If we are having any constant float value, then it is not a float value, it is floating type value, but it is double. What is data type? Double. Float and double, these are the two data types for storing the float type values. So it is a double. So double represent in the memory, that is a representation of the double and float in the memory is different. Okay, I will show you how to debug it. You have to click here, okay, and go to execute tab and click on the debug. So debugging start. It is visible, everyone, blue line?
No, sir.
Yes, it is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so now debug means line by line execution of your program. So now it is point to the first line in your main program, and we want to add watch means current value of that variables. Click on the F and click on the add watch. So this is the add watch. F initial value is 0 because it is not executed, this statement is not executed. Okay, after executing, this value is assigned to the F, but till it is not executed. So just go to the click on the next line. So next line, what is the value of F? 99.98999, like this. So this is representation in the memory for the float is different, as well as double is different. So this is considered as a double. So this representation and this F's representation in your memory is different. So it gives you an answer false. So if condition false, then it executes the else inside. Guys, understood? I will execute.
Sir, you mean, sir,
Next
this
line.
is logical error. You mean this
Yeah.
is, you can say this is logical error right now you have here.
Which type?
Right, right now in this program, I think we have logical error.
Yeah. It is also logical error, because what programmer expect that F is equal to 99. Yes, it is true, but it is not like that, because it is a logic, because it is not known that it is considered as a double value, and double value is represented differently in the memory, and F, it is a float value which is represented differently in the memory. So output is different. Yes, you have considered as a logical error here. Yes, good.
Okay, sir.
Yes, understood.
Sir,
Now next
sir,
line.
can you say again that how
Then
it
next line
represents?
and next line. Now close, stop execution. Click on the stop execution. So now execution is stop. This is called as toggle breakpoint. Red line is there. Again click on the same, so it removes. Yes. Tell me. Any doubts? Yes, any doubts?
How possible, sir?
Okay. So I will
not
change
clear,
the
sir.
data type as a double. And tell me now what is the output? Double. I have changed the data type of F variable as a double. Just compile it. If there is any error, no syntactical error, just run it. So what is the output? What is the output, guys? Inside if, that means this F is equal to 99. This is true. Okay, this is true because 99.99 is represented in the double format, is same as the double format. F is also in the double format, so it is matching. So it is gives the answer as a inside F. You have to do debugging for that. Just go to the debug. Okay, then next line. Okay, so here is the representation of your double value which is stored in the F variable. Similarly, this 99.99 is similarly saved on the RAM in this format only. So this is equal, so it gives you true. So true means inside execute the body of if statement. So let's next line. So it executes printf inside F return 0. Okay, then stop execution. Guys, hope you understand. Yes. Yes, any doubts?
Sir, it means that if we put some numbers after decimal, then it will automatically be double, na?
What?
Like
You have to
like
write any decimal point, okay, value. It is considered as a double. And if you remove the logical error, that is, we want float data type. Yes, we want float data type. Okay. So if you want float data type, write here F. Okay. That means this value is represented in the memory in the format of F. Now F and this F is correct. So let's compile and run inside if. Understood?
yes, sir.
So we remove the logical error also. Initially we just does not write F. So it is considered as a double. And F 99.9, this F is considered as a float representation. This is represented in double format. So these are not matching. So it gives you inside else. But if you write here F, then what happens? This floating point value is represented in the float format. Float data type format. So this format and this F format is same. Okay. So it gives when you execute it. So when you execute it, it gives you inside if. In this way, we have to remove our logical error also. Guys, till this, any doubts? Yes.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. So for basic data types based on the data type, we will take another example. Create new source file. Okay. So lots of time in format specifier, we have to write percentage 9D, percentage 21.2 F like this. Yes, it is permissible. So what is the meaning of that? While printing the decimal value, this is 10 decimal value. Before that, we have to place 9 spaces. This is the meaning of this percentage 9D. If you write percentage 21.2 F, what is the meaning of that? 21 means you have to give 21 spaces. After that, 0.2 means you have to take only 2 decimal value. Okay, other values are skip. 75 is skip. 2F, only 2 digits after decimal point, only 2 digits, that is 2 and 3. But if there is a 7 more value, 5 or more than 5, then it is rounded to the 4. Guys, just check it. Compile and run. So this is the output, 11.24, because here is a 7. If we have give 3 value, then it prints only 23. Compile and run. Every time if you want to make changes into the code, you have to compile it again. 11.23. 10. These are the spaces, number of spaces before we have to print this value. Understood the meaning of percentage 9, percentage 21.2 like this? Yes, guys. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have to take break. We have to join using same link at the 3 p.m. Yes. Using same
Okay,
link,
sir.
we have to join. So thank you.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. So I will leave the meeting.